I don't like talking about black women because I have a black daughter.
When I say that I usually date black men or black women, someone is always quick to tell me that it's a fetish.
You know what I think we need to do? We need to start teaching our children the same thing that they are teaching their children.
Please welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Stranda. Thank you so much for all the love and support. To my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and also educate each and every one of ours, you guys are the real MVP. So lovelies, I came across this video on my For You, and I thought to share where this pink color woman actually, called out a community, telling them to start teaching their offspring what people that looks like me have been teaching just. This actually got to an extent where pine-colored men with biracial, like that have black children, came out to share their experience on how they actually prefer to be on this other side than this side. Lovelies, I'm just going to roll the clip as well as some of other stitches I was able to put together. Please leave me your own thought in the comment section and let's dive into it.
You know what I think we need to do? We need to start teaching our children the same thing that they are teaching their children. They're teaching their children to white people. They're teaching them how to be from a small age. And our little white children are growing up and going out into this world not prepared, feeling guilty, thinking that there's something wrong with them. And I know that it probably sounds a little out there, but our little one, they need to be prepared what could happen to them in certain situations. These people say they're the ones that live in fear, and they're the ones that are scared, and there's all these sundown towns, and everyone's against them, when we all actually know the truth. And our kids and our family members and just people that are not aware of what's really out there working against us, they need to know. And don't feel bad for going to people that you love and care about and saying, hey, don't go to these big festivals in cities. Don't go where there are large groups of these people. Don't go there because you don't know what could happen. Because I'll tell you this right now, when I do have grandkids, I'm going to make sure that they don't have an ounce of white. I'm going to make sure that they know that they have done nothing wrong, and not to let anyone in this world convince them that they are less than anyone else due to their
racism. Let's talk about it. I'm married to an African man. I've been married to him for 14 years. I get so many dirty looks from African women. We were just at the store last night and we were having a great time. Go and get some yummy fruits and we were vibing, right? All of us were just having so much fun. I got so many shitty looks from all of us were just having so much fun. I got so many shitty looks from just absolutely gorgeous African women. A long time ago, I would just make myself smaller and just kind of walk away. But I'm checking out and I'm paying for my stuff, and this woman is staring so hard into my soul. And I see her and I feel her energy coming to me, right? And I just reach around and I grab my husband and I hold on to my husband because it's my husband, okay? And that's what I get so sick and tired of, because if he was a white man, he would be my husband. He's an African man. He's still my husband. I've gone through the struggles with him. I've grown up with him. He's my man. And I look at her and she does this whole eye roll and goes, oh, big thing, okay? I got so pissed off. So I looked straight back in her eyes and I smiled. I smiled at her like she was my best friend. And she dropped her eyes, dropped her face, and looked down because she knew what she was doing was wrong. And I am not making myself small anymore. This is my family, this is my husband, and I'm not giving him back to the community, and I'm not doing any of that bullshit. I'm so sick of racism, and I'm sick of it on both sides. I'm sick of white people doing their weird shit.
When I say that I usually date black men or black women, someone is always quick to tell me that it's a fetish. Now, I want to be clear that there are white women out there that do fetishize being with black men. At the end of the day, I do not care who someone dates. Let whoever you want in your kitty cat that you want. Do you. But I think it bothers me because I feel like people are saying that that's the only reason that I could possibly want to date a black man is because it's a fetish. I was very careful in that video to say that when I date all races. I'm not over here swiping until I see a black person and I'm like, ooh, this is my chance. When I date off of physical attraction. There's a lot of sexy ass black men out there, okay? But more goes into that. It just happens that the connection, chemistry, and compatibility happens to be with more black people than other races. Black men and women can be someone's preference without it being a fetish. For everyone that's like, oh, you're shouting it from the rooftop, you're the one that's announcing that you like black men. First off, there's nothing wrong with that. Second, the comments are made on a video that was really funny. I'd seen quite a few black women do it for white guys, like saying that they like white guys. And I was like, oh, this is so funny. So it was just a fun thing that I did. And a lot of you guys decided to keep jabbing at the single mom and I'm going to be a single mom and all of these things in the comments. I just jabbed back.
As a parent, I don't trust white teenagers with my kids. I mean, let's be clear, I don't really trust teenagers in general, but I am honored to raise a black child, and I don't trust white families and white kids to protect my son in the same way that I would. I mean, he goes to a predominantly black school. We live in a black neighborhood. All of his friends are black. I mean, when he was younger, he had a few white friends, but as he's gotten older, he's gravitated towards having only black friends. So the only people we have in our house and the only places he spends the night are other black people. Because I don't trust other white people to protect my son in the same way that I do if faced with racism at all. And that feels very reasonable to me. Like, this doesn't feel like an overreaction to me. It doesn't feel like I'm protecting him too much. It feels like a reasonable response to every lived experience that I have heard from the black people in my life. And mine, really. Like, I live in Southwest Atlanta. I used to live in Decatur in 2008, and then I left because it became Decatur. And every time I go cross into Decatur, I feel like I'm getting punched, and it feels unsafe because it's a bunch of white progressives who I don't trust at all. And my lived experience of this is that white people, progressives particularly, keep telling me that anti-racism is a nice little pet project. That me wanting to support and listen to black people, that's a nice little hobby. But because as a white person, I'm often in rooms with only white people, and so I get to hear the things that they say that they would. Would they say them around black people? Probably not. They'd whisper it. Like, they're the type of people who whisper the word black. Oh, your son's black. I mean, you can tell me I'm virtue signaling, that's fine. I'm still not letting my son hang out with white people.
I don't like talking about black women because I have a black daughter. I don't want to label black women as the problem. It's just when I get told stuff about my relationship, that's usually what I'm running into. And she's going to be raised to accept everybody around her and accept whoever she wants to be with. I want her to be proud in who she is, but I hate all the stereotypes that she's going to have to deal with. And I hate that she's going to also have to deal with the fact that her mom is white and she's not going to be black enough in some places and she's not going to be white enough in some places.
I remember going to see a community paediatrician, and my daughter's mixed race. I said to the community paediatrician, she's just so sad all the time. I just want to help her feel happy. And I said, she's also really worried that she has what she calls an RBF face, so a resting face. I won't say the word, where she just looks like she's going to punch somebody all the time. And she said she keeps getting into trouble for it with other girls, you know, where they sort of say, what are you looking at? And she said, Mum, I can't control my face. I'm going to end up getting into a fight. And she's not a fighter, you know, she's just a beautiful soul. And so I said all of this to the community paediatrician, and she said, well, she's mixed race. That's how they all look. And I was mortified. I burst into tears.
Goodness.
As a white woman, I was not prepared for that. And then that made me feel even more of a failure, because I thought, how could you have navigated this many years of being her mum with such a whitewashed, white privileged approach to raising a black child? And So there was a lot of learning, I sat in a lot of uncomfort in order to learn, which I know that is the best place that you're going to learn, is when you're sitting in that sort of difficult, horrible feeling where you're like, oh God, I've done something wrong. This is on me. You hold that mirror up and you think, no, I've got to get better at this.
Hi, I'm a white mom of 2 Black kids. I'll show you a pic. Here's my sweet little family. I'm in this Facebook group, and this mom wrote in the group that she's considering transracial adoption. She's a white mom and she's considering adopting a Black daughter. And she really wasn't going into this like ignorantly. She was aware that there's going to be a learning curve, and she was asking people's advice like, hey, has anyone gone through this? What's the learning curve, etc. The comment section though, the amount of white women and white parents in general, but this group is only women, the amount of white women who believe that if they're white and they have a child outside of their race, that there is no additional work to do, blows my mind. And so I left this comment. You can pause to read. Because the reality is, when you're raising children who are a different race than you, there is work to be done, intentional work to be done. And I might say, if you're a white person, it's even more important to do that work. Because I was raised with white privilege in a system that values white supremacy and promotes white supremacy. And I have 2 mixed-race Black presenting children. Their experience in the world is going to be marked differently than mine. And so there's so much that I have to do to fortify them and set them up, and just so much I have to do to parent them. And the main word I will say for any parent is looking to do transracial adoption, or even get in a relationship with someone of a different race than you, with the potential future of having kids, the word is intention. Intentionality. You gotta be intentional. You see, this work is not work that just happens passively. This is intentional unlearning and relearning. This is intentional anti-racist education. It's intentional listening instead of speaking. It's intentional time spent on Pinterest and Instagram and talking to Black mirrors in our community. It's choosing communities that mirror my children and look like my children. It's choosing to make sure that my children feel safe, seen, known, and loved in all of the spaces that they occupy, and being a fierce advocate for them. Not just after something happens, but before something happens. Truthfully, this will not all fit in a 3-minute video, right? Like, this is important, intentional, big work. But all in all, if you're thinking about adopting a child outside of your race, or you're thinking about dating someone outside of your race and potentially having children with them in the future, you have to know that this is intentional work. Please do not take this lightly, because your children's lives and future and safety depends on it.
I'm about to ruffle some feathers. A lot of people won't mix babies just because they assume that they're the cutest babies. And they think it's all fun and games until y'all start having to explain to y'all mixed babies about why Black folks go through as much shit as they go through. It's all fun and games until you gotta sit your Black son down and explain to him why he's different than white folks. My white mama raised me. I was not brought up knowing a lick about Black people culture. Why? Because my mama didn't educate herself before she had a mixed child. Do I blame my mother for me not having history instilled in me at a young age? No, because obviously my mother didn't have it instilled in her. Why? Because she was a white woman. All I'ma say is, if y'all gonna keep on producing these mixed children that are half Black, at least educate yourselves on their culture. Because it's real hard growing up being half Black and having to teach yourself everything about your other side because your mom and father didn't teach you. Real shit. Please educate yourselves on Black culture. And another thing, y'all can't be out here screaming Black Lives Matter and then celebrating the 4th of July. I'm just saying, please educate yourselves. Please, Lord.
The this world feels untenable most days. It feels like the death of something really, really big. And I have been an activist for as long as I can remember, at least 12 years old. And I have really struggled in this time of wanting to be in the streets more, of really wanting to march and wanting to also do subversive things and do things that are more dangerous and put my body on the line as a white woman, as a person dedicated to my faith. I have really struggled with this piece of how do I get involved as a mom. What do I do when my body can't do it? What do I do when my kids need to take a nap? What do I do when it's snack time and I just can't pop them in a stroller and go everywhere, especially when it's scary and it's dangerous? So I had this moment. I was putting my toddler to bed, she's 2, the other night, and I couldn't believe it. She was having a complete meltdown. I didn't know what to do. It was really, really difficult. If you've ever been there, moms, you know how it is. And she just was crying, screaming, having a hard time, like huge emotions, and I didn't know what to do. So I just held her and I sang with her and I soothed her slowly and slowly, and it took many, many, many minutes to slowly calm her down. And I tried to put her in bed. She didn't want to go in bed. And instead I had to kind of hold her as I did when she was smaller and really just rock her to sleep and let her cry on my chest. And it wasn't a small moment for me. It was an overcoming of awareness in that moment. And I started to cry as she fell asleep and stopped crying. That's when my tears started. I have a black daughter. I have 2 black daughters, actually. And my youngest, my toddler, taught me something viscerally in my body. It just overcame my existence. And I was rocking her to sleep, and I could feel her ancestors. I could feel the people that were enslaved in her lineage and in her blood. I could feel them and all of the white babies that they had rocked to sleep, that they had cared for, that they had suffered and sacrificed for my lineage. And I'm in this white body holding this black baby and realizing that this is how it begins, that this is activism too, that this matters as well, that her huge emotions were not silenced, her anger was not shushed, she was just held until she could just do no more. And then she rested fully, her soul rested. And that's when it hit me that I am trying so hard to change the lineage of what this country was founded on, which, in case you were not aware, it was genocide and slavery. And I'm trying so hard to be whatever an activist is. And sometimes my motherhood really clashes with that. And sometimes I wonder how my motherhood could be activism. And that's kind of what happened. So I sat there and I wanted to share this mostly with other white moms of black children. How do you do activism as mother? How do you show up in a different way that absolutely stops the cycle of violence with your children? What are you doing in those moments to make things so special, so tender, to give these black children a whole new world that their lineage has not experienced? And especially, maybe they have experienced, but not from white people and not from do-gooder white women who say they're going to help black children and don't. I want to change it. I want to make it different. And I know that I can start that in my own family. I have thought many different thoughts about this throughout the years, but there's nothing like rocking your kid to sleep and feeling the lineage of hundreds of years of what my people did to her people, and knowing that we are all people together now. And how can I really change her stars? How can I really make a difference and not just BS it? So that's what I did. I really want to hear other ways that other moms in particular, white moms, are doing something different with these children. Not fetishizing them, not doing something unique, but really to the root, something different that stops the white supremacy from carrying on in our lineage. I really want to know. Share it with me.
Like, seriously, lovely, is in as far as I do not actually agree with whatsoever that is happening right about now. With the way at which things are, everyone is just getting affected left, right, and center. I still find it very interesting that, so many people who actually voted for whatsoever that is going on is being affected one way or the other. Because let's just take, for instance, everything that is ongoing is just affecting a particular, set of people. Do you think that people are going to come out, crash out, cry about it? Oh my God, try to like, no, 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 no. I don't think it might just be the way at which it is. It is the way at which it is right now. People are coming out to crash out, to cry, having emotional breakdown and breakdown because it's beginning to affect people that never thought that it was going to affect them. Like, the thing is that even though things are going off right now, everyone is getting affected by it. The only people that, that is not really, oh my God, it's just people that looks like me, but it's just that I think they're just on their own, minding their business, like the 92%. It's not as if they're not getting affected by it, but it's just that they have cracked the code. I was having a discussion with a friend the other day, and I was like, I think people that looks like me have actually cracked the code. They voted, they voted for the betterment of everyone. They never voted for their own self, like for their own betterment. They voted for the betterment of every person. It wasn't a selfish vote. They did what they did because their concern is for everyone. But majority of other people were doing so for their own selfish reason. They thought that doing so will actually put people that looks like me in a crisis, whereby putting them in a better position. But people that looks like me actually voted in the sense that they know what it means to be oppressed. They have been oppressed long gone. They know and they have won the shoe and they know the way at which the shoe hurts. And them coming out and voting massively, the other side 92%, the other side 80% is because they don't want people to actually feel the way at which they have been feeling. And they know that, oh, it's going to turn out this way. Somebody used to tell me that people that looks like me actually have a third eye. Like they see impending, like things that might actually happen. Will I even say that they see future? Seriously. They made their research. They read all of the handwriting on the wall. They decided to tell you. It's not as if people that looks like me did not make it known to the public that, oh, you have to do this way in order for it to benefit everyone. They did. I I stitched so many of those videos, trying to tell the masses, you have to vote this way. If you don't do this way, this might happen. This will happen. But no, they thought that, oh, people that looks like they have their own selfish desire or pending reason why they wanted you to do, or vote the way at which they voted. They don't want to listen to them. Everybody was like, oh, voting in order to benefit or for their own selfish interest. But at the end of the day, they didn't calculate very well. They didn't plan it very well. Just look at these farmers. Look at Nebraska. Look at the other people crying, asking, begging for finance, for help, and that. These are the same people that massively voted for this. You know, everybody's been laid off, even though a vast majority of people that's been laid off from their job is black women. I saw an article about that. But at least other races are also getting the test of the medicine, you know? And black people already know how to tackle all of their issues. That's why it's as if, oh, they're not coming out to rant. No. It's just that when you are oppressed so much, there's a time or point in life where you have to, succeed, re-strategize. And before you know it, you don't feel it anymore. You become successful in the midst of oppression. You know how to tackle anything and anything like this is what they have been going through for a very long time. You think they don't have strategy on how to overcome all of these things? They do. Anyway, lovely, so that just leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We're just here for educational and informative purposes. So please share this video. Subscribe to this channel if you're here to do that. Like, and I will see you lovely when I upload the next Leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We're just here for educational and informative purposes. So please share this video, subscribe to this channel if you're here to do that. Like, and I will see you lovely when I upload the next one.